Hello everyone. I was asked by my group in Frostwalker to explain as to why you can use Viessa against the Frost boss. Well, the answer is easy. Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance drops the resistance of the target by 40% against chill, as long as you hit the target with the stage 2 beam. Now, if you look at the statistics for the Colossi, they usually have strong to very strong resistance against frost. That's not by accident, because Viessa is extremely dangerous to any Colossi, thanks to a Blizzard ability. If you combine that with Clairvoyance, you're a winner. If you look more precisely on the statistics, you will see that weak resistance means something around 400,000 resistance against the element. Strong is around 800,000. So by dropping it by 40%, you bring any resistance of any boss down to normal. And that's why you want to use it. If you want to be sociable, you can also take Thunder Cage with you, which has electric damage if you spec it right, which lowers the resistance against normal damage or non-elemental damage. And use a sniper rifle against the weak points. Dealing 1.6 million damage in one go, that's quite something, right? Now the way Clairvoyance works, when you spec it right. Standard mods rifling and action-reaction, which gives you negative recoil. When you reach a stage 3 beam, there's massive recoil, so you want to use SPS. A, you get plus 20% fire rate. B, you get 60% more base attack. And C, you get 50% recoil reduction, making that weapon pretty good. Now SPS only makes value when you keep that trigger pulled. The moment you light off, you lose all the stacks. So you want to have expanded magazine. The rest is chill enhancement. Naturally speaking, you want to have beam rifle charge speed, so you get faster to 2 or 3 stacks. Charge stages. And then the rest is crit and weak point damage. Straightforward. Afterglow, nothing special about her either. Every 10 seconds you want to get off one shot against the weak point, because that's when you deal the real damage. Otherwise, it's just a backup weapon. Just like the Thunder Cage. Firing Fiesta, naturally, because every 15 seconds you have 3 seconds of unlimited ammo. Swamp Walker, the weak points, when he's in enraged state, very useful. Right. As for external components, you want to use 2 pieces Annihilation set to get the skill duration up. The set comes naturally with a lot of defense. So compensate the rest with hit points. Now when it comes to modules, a Cold-Blooded Lust for cooldown reduction, because you need to drop as many blizzards as you can, because a blizzard's going to be more than 2/3 of your overall damage. Now Viessa doesn't have a lot of hit points. So when you run around, you drop your blizzards, you still deal damage. That's the entire idea of it. Survivability, don't be a glass cannon. Mana recovery, naturally, you don't get it on kill, so you can't use your standard, you need to use that. Expansion, because the bosses like to go out of your AoE zone. And then the rest is just damage. You can substitute Chill Specialist for focus on Chill for more cooldown reduction. And the rest is straightforward. Obviously skill cost reduction. Yeah, mana is always scarce in a boss fight. Now the way you play her on a boss fight is you don't use Dangerous Ambush, as most people will recommend it. Yeah, it's nice damage increase, but only for the time when the boss is actually down. You want to use that skill more often. So you drop that skill. Now the problem is with Colossi, they want to stay away from the players by about 25 meters. You should have noticed that by now. And then they sway left or right. If your group is all over the map, the boss will be on the move non-stop. So hunker down together so you all face the face of the guy where all the weak points are. Don't be an idiot when you take fire and you start running in the opposite direction and drag the boss all over the map and then nobody gets to have any DPS time on it. Don't be a retard, okay? And also don't go into a mission in a Colossi fight with level 30 or lower. We're not there to pick up your slack. You don't get XP there, you don't level there. Have the common courtesy and go in as level 40. So you have more hit points, more defense to actually do your job, which is staying alive and dealing damage. In that order, not the other way around. Yeah, it's great you deal more damage as a glass cannon, but if we constantly have to pick you up, we're all gonna fail. Just look at Frostwalker fight or Molten Fortress. When we are all across the map to do our stuff, we don't have time to run over the entire map to pick you up. You only have a few seconds anyway. So use your head and be social.